Hello again, YouTube. It's StephenWorldwide. Today I'm going to talk about the D-10 visa. I'm going to give you the lowdown on what the D-10 visa is all about. The D-10 visa is basically Korea's gift to foreigners. And what I mean by that is the D-10 visa allows you to live in Korea despite not having a job or not having a contract for a teaching position. So it's basically a 6-month seeking work visa. It's a visa to have if you're between jobs in Korea. It's been out for a couple years and not that many people know about it, but I have a few friends who have the visa and I just got it done today. So this video is best for people already living in Korea that want to get the D-10 visa and want to know what it's all about. You can get a D-10 visa if you don't live in Korea, but the requirements are really strange. The requirements are, number one, you have to have worked for a Fortune 500 company, and or number two, you have to have graduate school or a master's degree from a top 200 university. Now that's really vague, but you have to check the websites or call the hotline to get information about that. Check out the video description below for the links for information on the visas on the Korean websites. I have 2 websites below, and especially if you're in Korea, call the hotline, the 1345, and speak to somebody with your questions about it to get more information. So I just got the D-10 visa today. I'm really happy about it because it was actually difficult for me to get. I prepared a few things before I got to the immigration office just so that I can get it done in one day. Alright, I have a couple friends who got the D-10 visa already, and they told me what I might need when I go to the immigration's office. The first thing I got was a certificate from my bank. Here's what it looks like. It's a certificate of deposit, and it just shows how much money you have in your account. And one of my friends had to show that he had 2.25 million, or 2.5 million won in his account. The other thing that you might want to prepare is a statement from your landlord or wherever you live that you are renting an apartment there. They want to make sure that you have a residence in Korea. Some visa offices for certain cities are different. Just to give you an example, I lived in Gwangju. Some of my friends got the D-10 in Gwangju, and they asked for the verification of the apartment. They asked for the verification of the bank account. And here in Seoul, you think it would be stricter, but they didn't ask me for the bank account. And the immigration officer just asked me verbally, do you have a place to live? I said, yeah, I rented an apartment. And they said, good. And that was it. They didn't ask for proof. So you don't know what you're going to get. So you want to prepare those things ahead of time just in case. Also, of course, you want to bring your green ARC card, your passport, and also some passport photos. Then you head out to the immigration office. I'm in Seoul, so the immigration office in Seoul is at Omokgyo Station. When you get off the train at Omokgyo Station, you can take a look at the exit map and it'll tell you which way to go to the immigration's office. The immigration's office is a little walk. It's about a 10-minute walk from the station. You'll get to a corner. It'll look like this. You make a left at that corner and you walk about 10 minutes and you'll find it. And most of the people in that area, if you can speak a little Korean, you can ask them which way the office is and they'll point you in the right direction. When you get to the immigration office, you have to grab an application form for your visa. It looks like this. And you fill this out to the best of your ability. By the way, there is an application form on the website. Don't bother printing that out. Don't bother filling that out. It's the wrong one. That visa form is for people who do not live in Korea, who are outside the country. Just go there and do it at the office. The next thing you have to do is fill out this plan for seeking employment. Alright, it looks like this. Your plan for employment, they have 6 months here, and they want you to fill out something for each month, what you will do for looking for work. And you basically fill out anything that you can think of, including that you're looking for job postings, you're speaking to employers or friends, and you're going on the internet looking for job opportunities and job postings on the internet. And that's good enough. Now, one of the things that got me in a bind, I'm going to tell you about this. If you are still employed at your school, if you're quitting your job early, you need a letter of release form from your employer. You have to have the name of your school. You have to just write that you're finished at your job at a certain date, whatever date is your last day, and then your name signed, the headmaster's name signed. And you have to make sure that it's the same as the contract you signed. I had a rare problem. I have all these problems in Korea, and my problems are so unique, nobody else has these problems. The contract I signed and the boss's name on my contract is not the same as the school I actually worked at and the headmaster's name at the school. It's a long story, I'm not going to get into it here, but just make sure that you have a letter of release if your contract is not finished yet. If your contract is finished, you can go to the immigration's office. You want to go there as soon as your contract is finished. So in other words, if your contract is finished on a Monday, you definitely want to go to immigration that week. If you wait too long, if you wait more than 2 or 3 weeks, and then you go to the immigration's office, they might fine you for all the additional days that you did not have a valid visa, because your original visa, your E2 visa, expires at the end of your contract. Alright, how much does it cost? It costs approximately 70,000 won. 50,000 won are used for stamps. They look like these. Then you have to make a 20,000 won deposit. There's a bank in the immigration's office. And then it's 4,000 won to fill out a mailing form for them to mail you your D-10 visa card. Or you can always go back to immigration and save 4,000 won, but to me, I had gone there 3 times already. 4,000 won is worth my time not to travel back there and just to pick it up. You can do all that while you're there. You go down to the immigration office, first floor, pull a number card, you fill out your forms, you sit down, and then they tell you where to go to get the stamps. You could get the stamps ahead of time, but you'd rather have the immigration agent tell you what you need to do. You go get the stamps, it takes about 10-15 minutes, and then you come back and you can just sit down. It wasn't that crowded when I went there. The wait was like 5 or 10 minutes. So that's basically it. If you have all those requirements and you show them everything you need, you'll get the D-10 visa in the mail about a week or 2 later. They keep your green ARC card and they give you this as a temporary certificate that you changed your visa over to D-10. Just a couple more things about this visa. You're not supposed to work with this visa, and I asked questions about that. You're not supposed to do any private teaching. You're not supposed to substitute for any teachers who are on vacation, at their school. The only thing you can do is do an internship, like training at a job before you start your contract there. So you're not supposed to get a paycheck anywhere or get any money, but the agent told me that people do it. People do cash jobs and they just don't tell them about it. So I just want to throw that out there. You can renew the visa every 6 months. So right before the visa expires, like a week before, you can go back to immigration and fill out a plan. The only difference is you're supposed to write all the attempts that you've made to get a job. I asked what that meant. The agent said, for example, if you have emails that show that you sent your resumes out and you got emails back that rejected you or they hired somebody else or whatnot, she said that's good enough to prove that you've been looking for a job. So I have a friend who has renewed it 3 times and he's been on the D-10 visa for 1.5 years. He's a bartender. He used to teach for a long time and now that's what he wants to do, so it is possible to do something like that. So it's kind of risky to work in that situation, but it is possible to renew the D-10 visa. I hope this information was useful to you, and I'll see you next time in the next video.